What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of We Need to Talk. This is episode 347. Back in the building. Once again, thank you to all of my viewership on the replays. Thank you. Shout out to my replay gang. You guys are much appreciated as always. Shout out to my live viewers. Once again, I appreciate you all as well. And shout out to everybody who is or has been a part of the replay game, the Patreon gang. My family on Patreon. I appreciate you guys. As you may have seen, been uploading a lot past few weeks. Definitely been putting a lot of energy into, helping you all with the healing process, with the growth process, and putting a lot of energy into your overall evolution in all of the categories that I teach from. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Tay. Appreciate that. What's going on? And that would be psychology, purpose, partnerships, and physical health as well. So thank you very much to everybody who's been pulling up, and if you have not, definitely make sure to click the link in my bio. At this point, I'm putting out content on a daily basis, which means I'm definitely pedal to the metal with this thing, especially now because I'm doing a lot of heavy information, putting together a lot of information on detoxing and physical health and exercising and all of that kind of stuff. So, I'm doing so around this particular time frame because of the fact that right now, a lot of those fruits and vegetables and things are more accessible than maybe in the winter months. So now that the weather's starting to change, now that things are shaking up a little bit different. People are going outside. Things are, looking better. The weather's better. We can definitely take advantage of the energy and of the availability of what's needed in order to get ourselves right on the inside. Everything in its time, and everything within its theme. We want to make sure that we're doing things on a timely basis. And again, I stand firmly on taking advantage of the time frame that we find ourselves in. I've done it with the pandemic. I'm doing it now with this particular season, and making that shift into the health area, the detoxing area, things like that, to make sure on the physical side, now that you can do more, in the realm of exercise, more of the fruits are available to you, and we're at another turning point that is, no pun intended, right with opportunity for you to gain as much as you possibly can from this time frame. Because it's hard to get some of them fruits in the wintertime. The damn store fronts and boxes be empty. The fruit looks sad in the box, and it always kind of looks like a robbery just happened. Like all of the hamster owners and rabbit owners ran to get everything, and the celery's looking just brown and broken and just unwanted, just leaning to the side, no water content, just linked. So now is the time, you know what I'm saying? And so, I definitely want to help you guys in that realm, being able to identify what we need to be doing, what you need to grab onto, and how to adequately create, the internal climate for you to be able to get rid of what's not there. Essentially, what I've been doing all of these episodes prior to now has been a detox of more of the mental space, maybe also in the dating realm, purging toxicity that is intangible to some degree, from past relationships, from past traumas, if we're talking about, psychological shifts and difficulty in mental health, purging, the stronghold of fear and how it kind of can become dominant and overtake you. So again, if we're always talking about parallels, we got to do the same thing when it comes to physical health as well, because there's a lot of physical toxins involved and still active. So before I move forward, man, I saw Tay in here. Appreciate you. I see Remy OG, what's up? Nancy, what's up? Dawn, what's going on? Yeah. All right, bet. So tonight I wanted to talk about the fractured self. It kind of came to me a little earlier. Was just kind of thinking about the difficulty that some people can have with not only formulating a self to begin with, but maintaining one long term. And there's, again, there's a continuum. There's people who have had a sense of self and lost it in the war zone of a relationship long term. There's some people who haven't fully formed an identity or sense of self and have created almost a sense of self through partnerships, through various partners, kind of connecting to their energy, their agenda, their mindset, their vision, and taking that role as your complete self. So your role by their side has been your overarching sense of self, and then so every time you're out of a relationship, you feel fragmented, which hence would create the motivation and the drive and the motive to push you into another relationship. So, you may be, or you may know somebody who is the type of person who is not out of a relationship very long, who's maybe in something for a certain period of time, and then that gets too hot, or that gets difficult, or there's a breakup, and then next thing you know, if you don't keep up with their information, the next time you talk to them, you might be talking about the wrong person. You're like, yo, how's such and such? Now I got somebody new, you know what I mean? And I just started talking to them, and it's great. And then so now, you're in something totally different. Your friends, family can't keep up with you. And that process of being single, Tamika, what's up? Sean, what's up? What's going on? That process of being single becomes scary because of your fractured sense of self or poorly formed sense of self, or an imbalanced sense of self. Imbalanced would mean, it's too much of something. So you view yourself too much as a partner, too much as a purpose person, or maybe just certain categories, maybe even a parent. There can be, if you, and I don't believe in completely losing your sense of self into parenthood. I think that has its detriments. I believe in maintaining your sense of self. You can do an amazing job as a parent without only being a parent. The problem with relegating yourself to that tiny box or not being well differentiated puts you at a disadvantage because number one, you'll always feel guilty serving yourself. You'll always feel guilty doing something for yourself, so you'll deny your own needs on a consistent basis. And what happens is, down the line, there's a really good chance that you will develop some resentment once they grow up and things like that. And so many years have passed, and you may develop a sense of resentment and blame for them for taking your best year when they didn't ask for none of that, but you overcompensated, right? And I've seen this before. Certain parents completely lose themselves into their role as a parent, and the role of a parent is an amazing thing. You know what I'm saying? But it's not something to lose your sense of self within. What's up, Courtney? Because that's not a safe thing to do, and unknowingly it heightens your perspective on their responsibility to you. Because if you completely pour your entire self into them, what are you going to do when they misbehave, when they don't fall in line, when they're disobedient, when maybe they're not as appreciative as you think they should be? You lose your complete mind and you go off because you put so much pressure on them internally, unknowingly, because you poured 100,000% of yourself into them and denied yourself. There's none of yourself to bring you off the ledge when they do something that doesn't agree with your role or your logic or your house rule or something like that. Kids are gonna F up. You have to be balanced enough to be able to respond within a healthy emotional reaction. Because if you're losing it and flipping all of the time whenever they make a mistake, that's going to create that transgenerational cycle. And then they're going to be unable to regulate their own emotions when they get into relationships. And they're going to have, similar issues in a rotating fashion. And, they're going to choose unhealthy outlets, and they're going to pour themselves completely out and not have any idea what it's like to have a balanced life. So when we're talking about the fractured self, we want to be clear that there's always a risk. There's always a risk of losing yourself in a process or in a routine, right? Let's step out of the parent realm. Let's go into the routine realm. Let's talk about the day-to-day. How many times? I see that, Remy. What's up, Wilmer? How many times has somebody asked you, how was your week? And then you say something like, all the days blurred together. Or, I don't know what day it is because all of the days feel the same. And you in essence completely connected yourself or disconnected yourself from sometimes a sense of purpose, a sense of self, a sense of attunement with an introspection within yourself. And you get lost in the routine. What's up, Lloyd? You get lost in the current, the undercurrent. You get swept up to the point where you don't know what day it is. You don't know what's going on. The only thing you know is the next thing that's necessary, the next thing that needs to be done, the next thing that needs to be done. And in this process, you lose the ability to ground yourself. You become so robotic that even when you go on a vacation. And y'all know I'm talking to y'all, man. You even when you go on a vacation, right? You cannot detach. You have created such an ongoing momentum and have ignored your own needs so many times and have blocked out self-discovery so many times, even when you go on a vacation. A vacation is really, you done moved your office. You could be in Puerto Rico, Cancun, you could be in Barbados. You have done nothing but taken a plane to a different office. Now you're sitting by a palm tree on the laptop. Now you're sitting at the beach on the laptop, on the phone. Now you're at the resort. Some of y'all are on the water slide with the MacBook. Sit your ass down. Go drink something. See that? Cannot have that. And again, you may not think it's fear-based, but it is. It's fear of being unreliable. It's fear of what happens when you pull that plug out. It's a fear of what happens when you pull that plug out. Because some of y'all think that you hold everything together, because big picture would tell you you're important, of course, but you don't hold it all together. And sometimes there are delegations that can happen, but the fear is nobody does it like you. They'll probably F it up. It'll come back on you, and you have this whole created ideal of like how things are gonna basically destroy themselves and become volcanic if you don't have your hands in there and you're not the person, steering the ship every second or micromanaging a situation. And so this causes you to have spaces and windows to maneuver and to regenerate the self, to allow, the intuition to kind of crystallize, to allow your thoughts to maybe just stand still for a second, maybe have a clear mind, or maybe have a mind that is predicated on self-serving and not serving the people, not serving the others, not always outgoing, right? Maybe some epiphanies about your damn self. When the last time you had like a true, where you just, nothing else going on, you got your music and you chilling, and then something just hit you like, damn. So that's why I be doing that. That's where this came from. Or, you just start thinking about maybe some visions from childhood, some flashbacks. You put something together that was cool, that made sense. You figured out something about your behavioral patterns, your mindset, where you want to go, what you want to do, an idea on how to maybe, shrink the responsibilities, right? Again, you're going to go, whatever you prioritize is going to find its way to you. So if your priority is being hands-on, you're going to be met. The universe is going to allow you to be met with reasons to continue your hands-on philosophy. If you never break away, and here's another thing too. Some breakdowns are necessary for a better rebuild. Some systems need to crash and burn in order for you to get the learning experience, get the space, and have that mental and emotional, spiritual clarity to say, this was bound to fail anyway. Now I can build a different way. Now I can do it differently, to where I'm included in the process. My health is included in the process. My self-care is included in the process. The problem is we can't fully form our sense of self because it's too imbalanced. And in being imbalanced, we have to rush to keep up that label. We've allowed a label to sink in. We've allowed a sense of self to sink in, to be internalized. And now we have to put the S on, put the cape on, and fly constantly back and forth, because the second we dip down to get a sandwich, somebody gonna see us out the sky. Damn, they ain't super for real. She eating a burger and all that. She look regular to me. And then you think your whole thing is gone. It's over. I've dishonored myself. I've disgraced the label that I created. Like, nah, man. And I'm talking from the self-imposed. I'm Mr. Self-imposed deadline ass myself. I've been that guy, man. Make my own deadline for a project, and then I kill myself to get. Nobody even else knows the deadline, so I'm not even disappointing nobody. Like, you know what I'm saying? But in my head, I'm like, I gotta kill myself to get over it, and then boom, do that, and then from that to the next, and that to the next thing. Now, mind you, this was within my purpose, but at the same time, you can be imbalanced there too. You can be imbalanced in that process, because whose purpose is it? You can have too much of a good thing, right? You think not? Google the word, I think it's eutremia or something like that. There's like a condition where you drink too much water at one time, you could die. You know what I'm saying? It's like a certain amount of liters or something like that. Neutremia or eutremia, something. I'm effing it up. I ain't looked it up in a while, but water's a great thing. We're like 70 to 80% water or something like that. You drink too much, you effing die. Today, you'll cross over tonight. So, I say that to say, just because it's your purpose. And here's the other part of it. It becomes more intoxicating when it is your purpose, because you don't feel the exhaustion. There's a little bit of rush in there. You got a little bit of a rush within it, that, along with the sense of duty, along with the sense of responsibility, along with your deeper motivations, your whys, etc. Right, along with that's in there. That's why they got that little bit of a rush, and that keeps you running, 25/7. And who's gonna regulate it? You got to look at it like this. The more you keep doing that, look, whether you on a job or the purpose, nobody's going to stop you from overworking. Your kids ain't going to say, we good. Your employer's not going to say, damn, would you stop turning stuff in on time? This is getting out of hand here. You know what I mean? Like this, you want to be employee of the month every fucking month. Like, calm yourself down with all this overtime. And your clients, if you are an entrepreneur, are not going to say, wow, are you overbooking stuff? Like, you don't have to do the full session with me. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can feel that you're a little bit tired right now. So we could just stop right here. I'll pay the full amount. Just chill, take the rest of this time off. Early dismissal. I'm good. Consider me coached. And you too, because I'm helping your ass out too. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, come on, son. So I say that to say, I see y'all. Whether I see y'all in real life or not, I see y'all through the screen. I see you through the screen. And you got to do this. You just like you drive in the car, you steer in the boat, you gotta put the brakes on it too. You the captain now, be the captain now, and stop the damn boat and put the anchor down. You know what I'm saying? You gotta do that, because they're not gonna do it for you. It just doesn't happen like that, because you are serving the public. You were helping people to grow, change, receive, whatever it is you do. And part of being excellent at your purpose and things like that is having a very strong sense of who you are, and not betraying who you are. To over sacrifice is a self-betrayal. So in essence, you are turning on the self and not allowing it to come from that fractured state back to health, back to closure, back to a sense of, okay, damn, that was good. That was a good recharge. That was a blessing right there. You know what I mean? And then you go get him again. And sometimes, again, and I've talked about this before, sometimes, when it comes down to it, you gotta congratulate yourself as well. You know what I mean? Because certain victories aren't broadcast. I know a lot of, obviously you guys have Instagrams and things like that. Certain victories aren't broadcast like that. You know what I'm saying? And, there's going to be times where, you got to take yourself somewhere. You got to go do something that you like, and whatever it is that you do in self-service, continue to do so, because this strengthens the self. And this is valuable. I'll close with this. This is valuable in all of the categories I mentioned. You know what I'm saying? If your sense of self, if you protect and grow the self, then you have a reason that shows that you value yourself. And then, also from there, you have a reason to protect your health. You have a reason, to, deny certain people access in the dating world because they don't resonate with the self that you know. But if you don't fully know it and protect it, you weaken yourself. You weaken your aura and allow for cracks, and that's all it takes. You over-sacrifice to the point where you damn near dead and exhausted, and all you need is you just need some love, right? And then somebody's come right through the door. Ba-da! What's up? I saw a crack. You up? What's up? And then you don't have the cognition, or you're not whole, you're not in the right space to be able to discern whether that person should be anywhere around you or not. Because you don't have enough there. And so, guard your castle, but renovate it, chill in it every now and then. Have a good time. Eat, what do kings be eating? Chicken drumstick, big ass drumsticks and grapes and all of that. Put your crown on. Put your feet up, man. Go get your little court jester to tap dance for you and just lay out. You know what I mean? King, queens, Zamunda type shit. But y'all be good, man. Again, anybody who has not checked out the platform, the Patreon platform, I'm loaded up. I got a loaded clip. I've been putting out content daily. And so if you want to be a part of that, it's only $4.99 a month. Start, just go ahead, click the link, catch this content, man, because it's coming. I'm hitting detox really hard. I'm in the psychology space. I'm hitting life purpose as well. Self-discovery, all these different things. And definitely the dating and relationship realm. As you know, that's my favorite spot to really get into. So I'm definitely throwing content your way when it comes to that. Stay tuned to the post, and hit me up.